Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Europa Universalis IV. Where last time, we discovered just how much money is floating around in the market of Malacca. And today, right, basically, we're gonna steal it. But okay, let's take this step by step here. Ordinarily, and in the case of many other markets, all I've done is, sent over a merchant to steer trade in my direction, and then backed him up with some trade ships. But I'm not sure that's gonna work so well here, for the simple reason that, there are just so many good quality natural harbours, etc, floating around that, just sending a merchant and a few boats, that's not good enough. If we want to actually control this market, we need to go over and take some of this really nice territory. Now, as we've learned previously, doing a naval invasion to somewhere very far away, that's tricky. Because, there's naval attrition, your troops get a bit banged up, your landing craft might get caught by an actual navy. So, what I want to do before anything else is create a safer beachhead that I can use as the staging post for my invasion. So it sure is bloody convenient that yes, there's a nice bit of land floating around right here that currently is not claimed by any of the other local powers. So, okay, just a moment, we're going to be done with one of our colonists over in Africa. He's like, almost done getting us up to 1,000 colonists. So as soon as he's done with that, yes, we are most definitely going to be sending you over there to sort that out, and oh dear. Turns out that, yes, we may possibly be on the clock when it comes to locking down this territory. Because look who's suddenly sniffing around my bit of the world. Oh, and I am technically at war with, yes, the Ottomans right now, but I'm not really sure this involves me, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. In better news, though, right, I do have a couple of nice bonuses I can claim right now. In particular, yes, apparently I've been doing things well enough in the Age of Discovery to earn another little bonus, though, I'm gonna be honest, none of the others seem like that interesting to me in many ways, so I might just start a golden age, lasting 50 years, meaning my armies are better and, more importantly, okay, power costs go down. That's very nice, actually. So, sure, welcome to the Q1 Golden Age. Oh, and that converts straight into, cheaper technology, of course. And that's pretty important because I cannot notice the next diplomatic technology is very much about ships, including a shipyard. A building that pretty much lets me convert money into naval capacity. Given for me, naval capacity means trade ships that just generate more money. Oh, you know what? We could be onto a good thing here. Oh, and apparently I just get the ability anyway. Like, that wasn't an either-or thing. That was just a thing I could do. So, okay, you know what? Sure. I'll take the edict that lets us lower unrest. Because if we're about to be conquering some new territory that's far away, that might be useful. And as for government reforms, okay, I'm gonna be honest, none of these, seem that exciting to me in many ways, though, getting the admin tech cost down another 10%, that's tempting. Oh yeah, there we go. We will definitely be taking that straight away, and, right, by the looks of it, this was first reached by someone in the world, barely 5 years ago. Okay, we are keeping up tech-wise. Oh, here's fun, by the way. Yes, war's over. And as a result, the Mamluks appear to have just sort of disappeared. Right, so they've just been replaced. So right, they appear to have been converted into what I assume is like a type of vassal. And honestly, I consider that a good thing, because that means they functionally are like a buffer state between me and the Ottomans. And hopefully, the Ottomans won't be expanding any further south. Oh, and speaking of Portugal, right, we've got a problem here, which is, apparently, the Portuguese have now overtaken me in terms of the great power ranking. Now, I think they haven't, because my development is way higher than theirs. The only reason they're above me is because apparently they've got one more institution. Okay, I'm not having this. Officially, what's happened is they've invented colonialism. Because, yes, it basically only exists inside a Portuguese city right now, and, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't entirely agree with that. I feel like, you know, you may actually be a tiny bit behind the curve on colonialism, given I've just gone and colonised all of southeast cocking Africa. Though I will admit, there's, something a bit odd going on here, which is, apparently, yes, colonialism has just been invented in Portugal, like 2.5 minutes ago. Yet somehow, it's here in Adal. Just in, like, one tiny territory, slowly taking root, so I've no idea how that's happening, but okay. This opens up, yes, an interesting opportunity. You see, I have been thinking about going in and finishing off Adal. If for no other reason than because, you know, I've literally got a mission to do so. And also, they keep sending boats down to steal trade from the Zanzibar trade nodes. However, these days, they're allied with Adal. So if I was to go to war with you, that would bring me into war with these guys as well. Which I just might be willing to do, and in fact that might be the real prize. Because this territory here, that's got colonialism growing for some reason. And simultaneously, yeah, if I was to go and take that territory, that's also got a good trade resource. And Adal's only other significant trade resource is right here, so if I was just to go in and take just these 3 territories, I would just have gained a huge amount of trade power in the Gulf of Aden, just up the road from Zanzibar. And that could be worth a lot of money to me, actually. Okay, I think we could do that really soon, because right now, my army is a little bit tied up here, because, yes, there could be an army of 7,000 natives popping up at any moment. But as soon as we're done with this territory, these territories are way more chill. So yeah, a small force of 2,000 here could easily deal with that nonsense. So yeah, as soon as you're done, I think we could send 12,000 men north. This force could go north too. Rebels are not causing trouble at the moment because, you know, I've just given them a bit more autonomy, so they've all chilled out a bit. Add in a handful more troops, including, yeah, my brand new troop type, some cocking artillery, and, oh, we could be in good shape, actually. We could just march straight through this region. Though I tell you what, this is a good opportunity to do something else I was thinking about as well, which is, when we do go to war in the Malacca region, yeah, they're gonna have boats. And even if I actually have my troops on land, and thus their boats can't attack me directly, they could go and interfere with my trade. So I feel like the time might be coming to train, you know, a proper navy. You know, actual galleys and whatnot. Which are particularly effective at fighting around, you know, coastlines, etc, etc. So, okay. That could be useful right here. Because one of the people that's going to attack me if I go into Adal and Adal are these guys. So as a result of that, yeah, if I can just knock out your navy, you can't reinforce your friends. Though your neighbour Murat, they'd be willing to join an alliance. And yeah, they're also allied with Marahan, so okay, welcome to the coalition, my friends. And there we go, following month, one colony has become self-sustaining. So yeah, rather than moving you straight over to here, we'll get you in just a second. You, my friend, I'm going to come straight over here and lock down this territory. And yeah, we can now send you over to just to back you up because, yeah, it's 2,000 natives. I've got 4,000 troops just standing here doing nothing. So, okay, at long last, these guys get to do something. Oh, and the good news just keeps on coming. Because apparently, I could take back 5% of the estate land at the minute, and that would push me over 50%. And no one's going to have a problem with that. So, okay, we're going to do that because the game did say. So, let's actually figure out what absolutism does, because apparently that's important, and, right. When you said having over 50% was a big deal, I feel like that's not that big a deal. Like, I suppose reform progress growth is nice, but I was expecting more. Also, I can't help but notice I'm only like, yeah, 10 development behind Portugal, even with the fact that they've got colonialism, which I amazingly do not have. So given I need, you know, more naval forces anyway, and probably more manpower, and actually this also boosts local trade power, so yeah, let's just put our military into a little bit of manpower upgrades, because that counts as development. And obviously, never forget to just, you know, increase the flipping, yes, production of Kilwa when the opportunity presents itself, because bloody hell that pays for itself. Like, that's an extra gold a month. Oh, we're so close. We'll flipping get them, okay? We're gonna get them sooner or later. In fact, thinking about it, yeah, I hadn't really considered this, but just constantly colonizing is going to boost my national development. Like, say, this island right here. This is a sexy island. No one's on it, so no one's going to object to me colonizing it. It starts off immediately with level 5 on tax and level 5 on production. So that's like 11 development just for sending a colonist over there. And more importantly, yeah, just to keep exploring so we understand what we're walking into over here. But yes, as I was saying, begin construction of some actual proper galleys. So yeah, as expected, those will take about a year to complete. 10 of those will be fine. Oh, here's fun, by the way. I think we've discovered Australia as well. Oh, but let's not worry about that for now, because there we go. We have now got our first colony over here. And yeah, the thing is, even though it's still developing, it isn't going to be a proper city for quite some time. It already officially belongs to us, and has a supply limit of 23, so anytime I want to, yeah, I can send over a big number of troops, and they can just hang out there, ready to move in. And speaking of moving in, yeah, there's a complex series of alliances in this bit of the world. I need to find, like, you know, the weak link. Oh, there it is. Barus. You are only allied with, yeah, these nations next to you. You're not allied with, say, Malacca over here, who are much bigger and more worrying. So, yeah, if I just attack you, these guys get pulled in. They're allied with Malacca, but that doesn't mean anything because, yeah, allies of allies don't seem to get pulled into wars. So as a result of that, we can just march around the coast here and take all of this step by step. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Though a second option is actually, yeah, a small group here that's actually nearby to where I start. Because you, buddy, Indrapura, you're aligned with this guy here. So yeah, 5,000 at 7,000. And then you guys are over the water. Now, you've got 12,000, but that kind of doesn't matter. Because, you know, you're over the water. And I'm going to be bringing my proper galley fleet. So, yeah, I'd say this is going to be a good step one. And that will also give us, yeah, a very good port. If we can take these gullies as well while we're just passing by, better and better. That's a foothold in the market next door. Okay, diplomatically, I see a way to do this. We've just got to, yeah, free up our armies from dealing with potential native attacks first. Oh, and here's fun, by the way. Apparently, we've entered a new era. Oh, and this is sexy. In the Age of Reformation, I could take a perk that gives me giant piles of ship trade power. And we're already working towards it because, yeah, I've already done some province conversion. So, right, keep working in that direction, that might be nice. And, oh, hello, sexy. Gain trade bonuses from spices is apparently an objective, so... Right, well, we're working towards that game, don't you worry. Right, meanwhile, my fleet is actually ready to go. Beautiful. Let's give it an actual admiral, because why not? Yeah, just to bring them to anchor for the time being, although they could hunt pirates, by the way. Is there any reason for them to hunt pirates? There is no piracy going on, it's fine. Oh, and hello, sexy. Having finished exploring, yeah, Java and thereabouts, I think I'm starting to see why this market is nowhere near as valuable. Plain and simple, there's just less economic activity going on here. And crucially, yeah, there's a really nice natural harbour up in this direction, which currently doesn't belong to anybody, so, right. if we up ourselves to that, yeah, we don't even really need to invade this particular trade node. We could just move in and take some of the nice bits of land that no one's currently doing anything with. And yeah, with the economy in a great shape, let's start expanding the army, including 3 units of actual artillery. You know what? 3 might be overkill. Let's start with just 2 and see how we get on. So yeah, we'll do that. Then just add in a little bit more infantry as well, please. Oh, and here we flipping go. Shipyards. Now this is potentially quite exciting. Because like I was saying, we're currently at naval force limit, and I don't think we actually should be. So here we go. As we're about to build a big old pile of stuff here, the merchant guilds, I'm going to ask them for a contribution. So yeah, construction costs go down by 5%. And yeah, that's going to make them a little bit less happy, but they're pretty happy right now. That's fine. And there we go. For just a 92 gold, plus 2 to naval force limit. Build those cocking everywhere. And we can do the same for the army as well, though. Mysteriously, yeah, that's a lot more, you know, expensive. So don't worry about that. Just get shipyards down everywhere. They're way more effective, and they will literally pay for themselves in terms of the number of trade ships we could get out. Oh, but here we go. I think, yeah, stuff's about to start getting very sexy because we are just one bloody colonist away from, yes, you, buddy, being officially set up, and there we go. So, right, with that done, there's now only 1 territory over here that needs to be colonized to connect the Cape with the rest of the Empire. Which is important because apparently, yes, that's like connected to a mission. The reward would be the center of trade goes up by 1 level. Now that's interesting, because yeah, right now the center of trade is at level 1. So that would be boosted to 2. And that's pretty much as good as we've got everywhere, because boosting to 3 needs, yes, like 1,000 gold, and also I'm pretty sure, a really bloody big pile of development. So I could do it here in Kilwa, but yeah, we're not even close down here in Safala. It's 25 development, so okay. If you're about to boost that for free, then what we should do first is drop just to 100 gold, getting you up to tier 2. Because that means presumably, yeah, as soon as we actually send a colonist to this territory, when he arrives, that will be immediately locked down. Don't worry, I'm aware truces are expiring, it's fine. But yeah, that should boost this to the first ever level 3 we've seen. And on top of that, yeah, the remaining natives are pretty bloody chill. So I'm going to say, just send, yeah, 2,000 guys over in this direction to keep an eye on that. This army, meanwhile, is now free to march northwards and join up with, you know, the other army of 70 cocking thousands. So here we go, in a matter of days, we should now have, there we go, our ridiculously long snaky empire now goes, yes, from all the way up here in Parte, down towards Madagascar. Then there's a bulging bit where we just went to, like, you know, go and steal some gold. And then it continues all the way round to the Cape. And speaking of the Cape, we have now officially completed that mission. Meaning, yeah, the Cape's going to be even better. And on top of that, I can, yes, go and claim every centre of trade in the Congo and Central Africa region. Why I'd want to, I'm not, like, entirely sure. Because trades are flowing the wrong way. Like, anything I generated around there wouldn't make it round to Zanzibar. Like, it makes so much more sense for me to expand eastwards. Oh, and speaking of which, right, the Cape is immediately starting a work on that trade depot, though. Could have been noticed that, yes, the port has not upgraded to level 3. Maybe that's still restricted by, like, you know, the development level or something, I'm not sure. And okay, with more and more African provinces finishing up too, we can now finally turn our attention, like I was saying, to, yeah, this rather lovely bit of land over here. A beautiful natural harbour and a fairly underdeveloped market that currently just isn't doing very much. So okay, in a matter of years, that will belong to me, and can also potentially be a useful jumping off point for, yeah, taking the rest of these ports too. Still, now that we've got our armies freed up, back to, yes, plan A. Screw over Portugal by stealing the secrets of colonialism from Adal, who appear to, like, be developing them somehow or another. So okay, Navy is in a position, armies are in position too. The only trick now is, yes, making sure that when the war's over, you don't push the wrong cocky button, John. Like, seriously, double check that before you push any buttons. So, once again, my objective is officially to take that one city, because, you know, that's the one I've got the actual proper justification for, though, yes, in a perfect world, we want a lot more than that. Yes, a proper navy, begin immediately hunting enemy fleets, specifically in the Arabian Sea. And I'm hoping, yeah, the sieges are going to be a lot faster on this occasion, because what we brought is cocky cannons. Like 2,000 cannons, which honestly feels excessive. The only thing we really need to worry about is, yeah, 13,000 troops belonging to Adal. Honestly, we're swimming in money right now. Bring in some mercenaries. Why not? I see no reason why, yes, I should be throwing away my troops, etc., etc., when mercenaries could just go and do the job for me. If only because, yeah, don't forget, if I actually take damage and need to recharge my troops, that gets really cocking expensive. Just having mercenaries go and do it for me instead, that seems way more sensible. So, alright, also apparently we've got a decent air coming in. Beautiful. So okay, step one, just send the mercenaries in to deal with the Adal army. That should be fine. Oh, and the siege over here did not last that long at all. So, right. Those new cannons, they did some good work for us. Okay, so, good news and bad news. The good news is, we just sort of walked in and took all this territory. That's fine, not a problem in the slightest. The bad news is, yes, we may have, like, slightly burnt this territory to the ground as we were moving in. There's a bit of devastation, etc., etc. And that does seem to have slightly killed the growing intellectual movement in that city, because, yes, whoever it was that was researching colonialism, I think we killed them, like, during the siege and whatnot. So, that's not growing here anymore, which is a shame, I'll admit. Still, what we can do is, yeah, destroy Adjuran forever, which was our primary objective, and yeah, take enough territory that, one, I've got a nice little point where I can access the Gulf of Adana trade node, so that's going to be very useful, because there is a good port there. And if, yes, this territory over here ever bothers thinking about colonialism again, we will now be bordering it, so that will be useful. Oh, and here's fun. In the aftermath of, yeah, that war, I could basically start bullying nations into either transferring trade power to me, or getting them to steer trade in my direction. So, my allies in Marahan would now be willing to basically do whatever I tell them. So alright, do it, you mad bastards. Brilliant. Oh, but crucially, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the territory we just stole, that brought us back ahead of Portugal. So, right, they may have, like, you know, colonialism, which apparently we don't have, despite the fact we cooking invented it. But yeah, we are once again ahead of them. Beautiful. Oh, and while that war was going on, by the way, oh yeah, all of our cooking shipyards finished up. So I'm gonna say, it's time to get some more light ships out. Also, I think at this point, yes, basically everyone has decided it's probably best to give their trade power to me, as opposed to waiting for me to come over there and take it off of them. So, okay, everybody is just delighted to give me their trade power. But okay, with that done, it's time to begin, yes, the main operation here. Number one, Malacca. I'm going to transfer over a merchant because the guy over in South India, he's not really doing much, to be honest. So there we go. He arrives and immediately starts transferring 0.6 over to South Africa. But now what we're going to do is send him some reinforcements. You know, just a handful of trade ships to help get our foot in the door. Also, hilariously, we appear to have an early Carrack in our main navy. I swear we never built that, so right, I think we just captured that from somebody else. Oh, and apparently, yes, that good work we just did with some trade ships and a trader, that's good enough to have officially infiltrated the Malaccan trade. So, right, that gets me a skilled trader. I've got a better trader than that working for me already. That's fine. But yes, more importantly, the trade route to China occurs. Although I'm gonna be honest, I think we already know about China. I mean, we know about Korea, Japan, and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Like, our explorer's been doing good work. Honestly, the Beijing market isn't even that exciting. Like, there is not that much money going on there at all. That is not something I care about. Though, speaking of which, right, Zanzibar has now overtaken the Malaccan market. May possibly be, yes, at this point, the most valuable market in the world, because nothing else even seems close right now. Oh, bloody hell, once they swept away the corpses. Oh, now this is good news. It would appear that, yes, once again, mysteriously, for reasons I don't understand, possibly historical reasons, yes, colonialism appears to be, popping up in that city. That's now conveniently right next door. Meanwhile, my new transport fleet is ready to go. So yeah, just attach the armies to those transports, just start moving them over in this direction, going to visit our new colony. Don't worry about it, guys, doesn't mean a thing. Just drop army number 1 off, they can recover there. Should be plenty of supply floating around. Yes, this colony isn't even done yet, but I'm sure it'll be done soon, it's fine. Right, send the cogs home, heal them up, pick up another 13,000 men, and that should be everything we need. Oh, and as one final grand epic achievement, apparently we are now technologically advanced enough to circumnavigate the globe, presumably beating everyone else to the punch, so oh, get going, you mad bastards, Godspeed! Meanwhile, yeah, get the armies down on the ground, and the moment we arrive, there will be supply issues, but that's fine. Okay, because as soon as you actually hit the ground, it's time for us to start moving in and actually, you know, taking care of business with everyone around us, because we can't support this many people in one tiny bit of land, so, okay, just make sure everything still looks like how I want it to. Yeah, this tiny force here, they're only going to actually bring in their neighbours and some guys over the water, which is not going to be a problem. In which case, here we flipping go. Let's make this happen, though. Yeah, we should have overwhelming numbers of troops present. And we can always call in mercenaries too, because I've got friendly territory right there, so I could use that as a staging ground to call up reinforcements. And as for the fleets, yeah, merge the cogs into the main attacking fleet for the time being, just to keep them safe. And then, yeah, hunt ships here in the Eastern Indian Ocean. I don't want anyone else causing trouble for us. So there we go, we're now sending in a good, solid number of troops to begin the sieging. We're immediately winning some naval wars, I believe. Go and smash their army, which is good. I do not care about noble rights, it's fine. Yes, by the looks of it, the fight is going very well over here. So you guys are collapsing. Good, 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 good. And then we just take your territory. Keep on keeping on. We've got cannons and whatnot, as we say. Where's your army, by the way? Not sure where the army for these guys is, but they've just decided to, yes, naff off. And yes, I've also decided to improve my relationship with Adal, because I think that might increase the chance that colonialism spreads to me. Now, admittedly, we are taking some, yes, pretty bad naval attrition by the looks of it, as our ships just try and find a way around the world, and okay, you guys have got quite a long way to go, I'll admit, so good luck with that. Okay, we're getting a lot of messages about how our exploring fleet is, you know, exploding, sinking, etc, etc. I think possibly it's decided to just come home, actually, and honestly, good idea, guys. This didn't... Never mind, it was a spirited attempt. Oh, also, I think our Sultan just died. Did he just die? I think he must have just died because we've got a new one, so something happened to him. I genuinely feel a bit sad about that, to be honest. Like, you know, the old guy was doing really, really bloody well, and he never got to see Malaysia getting conquered. Bare minimum, though, yeah, the new kid is just, so that is going to help us out with any difficulty during his early reign. Okay, so I've learned something very important, something we didn't really plan for, which is, yes, before you start a war, you ought to check on the local fort levels, because the fort levels around here, they were pretty high. That took us a while, but after a ridiculously long siege, right, we took it. We've taken everything on this side. Now, technically, there was an ally, yes, over here, but they're not actually in the Malaccan market, so if you guys are willing just to give up, I would be willing to consider... Okay, hang on. What do we want to get or not to get here? Like a bare minimum, yeah, I want that. Well, we've taken the core provinces we were after, and on top of that, yes, we have most definitely destroyed the local navies. So yeah, just send some troops ashore here, just to knock over a little bit more territory, and that should be all we need. Oh yeah, they don't want to fight. Their military tech is only level 7. And we're up to level 9, so in a straight up fight, we would destroy them. Right, having smashed everything over there, let's talk about what we want to achieve here. Because it looks to me like, yeah, we can wipe out this nation, take most of value from this one, and also pick up a nice port over here in the next district over. Honestly, I'm a-okay with that. And there we go. We have now taken, yes, a big bite out of this region. And then all we do is toss our giant piles of money at upgrading all the centres of trade and whatnot. Speaking of which, over in flipping Kilwa, you're now developed enough, and I'm just sitting on enough money to bring this up to cocking a world port. And if we put all of that together, all of a sudden, oh yeah, we are immediately the 3rd biggest economic power in this trade node, with 2.45 being shipped straight off to South Africa. Meaning immediately, yes, this tiny colony down here is generating 3 gold for us, and if we just, you know, kept expanding, kept growing, etc., etc., that would just go up and up and up. Though we may need to do something about, yes, the Ivory Coast, because I think they're just stealing all our trade, damn it. But okay, having expanded our empire all around the Indian Ocean, I think we should probably wrap things up there, because I did say this was going to be a mini-series, so yes, I think at this point the ball is very much rolling. We could just basically go and paint the map if we want to. It's only a matter of time until, yes, Malacca, and in particular the Gulf of Aden, completely belongs to us. Meanwhile, Portugal has dropped out of the top 8 nations in the world, so, oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah, I will take that, that is just fine. So, yes indeed, we have successfully built a grand trading nation, we have successfully expanded all across the world, and we have successfully beaten Portugal by any cocking metric. So, you know what? I get it. I get why people love this game. It is just so deep. There is so much to do here. Exploring is great fun. Growing your economy is great fun. This is a great, brilliant game right here, and as a result, I cannot cocking wait to dive into Europa Universalis IV. But don't you worry, because that is not going to be our next series. As I've mentioned before, and in line with the results of the last Democracy Week, our next series is going to be Baldur's Gate 3, starting next week, and oh, I'm so looking forward to that too. That is going to be an amazing series, but yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this incredibly dumb little mini-series where I decided to just, yes, expand around the world and become a ridiculous trading mega power, but I've had great fun here. This is well worth a look, see, link in the description below. And yes, I would absolutely not rule out that maybe, just maybe, in future, we might be back here doing a more complete series. Maybe it'll be an option in the next Democracy Week. So let me know if you'd be interested, and we shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been a Europa Universalis 4. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I shouldn't have become friends with him, now I'm sad he's dead, because that's how friends work. I've just started the sexy schism. He was my brother! What? Why would you do that? You were literally the... Oh, he was the heir to inherit everything. Okay, fair enough. That's a good motive, actually. I should have been more suspicious of you.